a focus groups technique, right? So this is a focus group discussion moderated by a well-trained moderator, and of course focusing on a specific topic of research, right? Because the researcher will like to have this group interview and get the data from this group of people. Normally this group of people, of course, is especially chosen to represent the population. For instance, if you are doing a research on homestay, the tourist experience with the homestays, of course, the group will be consisting of the various tourists who have visited the homestay programs. All right. And of course, you will be carefully choosing the various groups of people, right, who have visited the homestay programs. For instance, you will choose the local tourists, you will choose the foreign tourists, and you will choose tourists with different age groups, different occupational backgrounds, different racial groups, different income groups, and so on. So you will be very careful in choosing these, let's say, 12 participants of your group, your focus groups, because as you are facilitating these group discussions or moderating these group discussions, the voices of the various groups of tourists will be captured. All right. So that's why I say this qualitative research also can be very carefully carried out with the respondents who are quite representative. All right. Okay. So this group composition can be homogeneous. Of course, in this case, the tourists, right, who have visited the homestays, because this is the target group in whom you would like to make your conclusion later on, right? In whom you would like to understand their experiences with. And most probably, there are the respondents later on, whom you would like to investigate in your survey, right? The tourist in this case. So you most probably will pre-screen them to ensure that they are actually representing the various subgroups of this entire population. Physical setting normally is quite relaxed and informal because it is like group discussions. You really want the entire group to participate and actively talk about that particular topic of interest. Right? For example, like I say, this group discussion is to understand the tourist experiences with the homestay. So it is focusing on the tourist experiences with the homestay. And you will find that it can be quite a lengthy discussion. It can normally last for 1 to 3 hours. Okay, 1 to 3 hours, because you have a group of about 10 people really focusing on that topic of interest. And then the moderator will facilitate and stimulate the group to be actively involved and to make sure that they are not out of topic. It is really focusing on that particular problem, that particular topic. And the researchers, of course, will have an assistant normally, and it will be recorded. The session will be recorded because the researcher will like to later on listen carefully to what they say and then play back the recorded, let's say, audio or video. Normally it's audio, right? Because a lot of people don't want the researchers to later on pinpoint who actually say what, and it has to be like as anonymous as possible, because what we want will be the answers, not really their personal particulars. So it will be recorded either through audio or video, or you will just record using, let's say, point forms, right? Jot down the important points. So sometimes we have an assistant to help us to jot down the important points being discussed during this group discussion. But in order to know really word by word, we will use really audio recorder, right? You can use MP3 to record, right? And of course, the moderator will be observing, and you will actually facilitating the entire group discussion. So this moderator will be very skillful in terms of facilitating, in terms of the communication skill, and to really able to bring the discussion into a very focused manner, right? And in order to have these very good focus groups to be implemented successfully, normally the moderator will really determine the objectives and define the problem clearly. And they have the objectives of this qualitative research stated clearly, right? And the questions to be answered by the focus groups also will be planned and written nicely. And in fact, will be given to the participants before the group discussion is done. Write a screening questionnaire, right? And to state the various questions to be asked, right? And also the sequence of the focus groups. Develop a moderator outline, okay? And also you will be actually conducting the focus group interviews, right? You will choose a nice place physically, but of course now during this pandemic, you will not do this face-to-face group interview, right? But you can always carry out this online group interview, all right? Using your WhatsApp group, using your, let's say, Google Meet or Zoom or Webex and so on. You can use this Skype as well, right? So do the online group interview, right? And you will record the session for your analysis later on, right? Based on the research objectives that you have and also the research questions. You will analyze the content of the discussion recorded using the proper device. And of course, you have to get the consent from the participants saying that the session is recorded and it will be used for the academic research. Okay, so with that, you will be able to get the summarized findings, right, of this group discussion, right? So you will summarize the findings and plan could be follow-up research to be done, which is your quantitative research phase later on. Okay, so upon doing these focus group interviews and also analysis of the content, you will have the list of, let's say, dimensions and also the items of the tourist experiences with the homestay, which later on you will use them for your auditee. Okay, so in your qualitative research phase, in your proposal, you will state all these. What are the objectives of the focus group? What is the technique that you use and how you collect the data? How you actually select the samples? How many samples will be selected? And how will you do the analysis? And what are the findings of your focus groups and how they will be used for your quantitative research phase?